Alright, I wanted to go over process of taking your own measurements and just a few specific things that we prefer to have when sizing up a last. So we'll go ahead and start here. I'm going to need a piece of paper. We'll use both sides of that, one for each foot, a pen, a flexible measuring tape, and it is good, I can speak on this from personal experience, to check and make sure that this is not stretched. And check it against a ruler because that could throw things off. But first of all, we'll just need a tracing, and we like to have the pen straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor, and we'll just do a tracing all the way around your foot. I am sitting right now. I guess I don't really need a tracing while sitting and standing, but we will be taking sitting and standing measurements. So almost the way around there. Yep. I do like to, if you're in person and I'm taking your measurements, I'm going to kind of check where your foot's actually contacting the floor and maybe make some marks, definitely where the arch is at here. So I'm going to kind of check that out and sort of see where it begins and ends. That's going to tell me the most amount of information, but also where it does start to contact the floor. So I have a fairly high arch. Mine's going to kind of be somewhat far in there. You can see that's about where I'm contacting the floor. But if there's any other part on the medial side or anything like that, that's all useful information. So maybe just a little bit there so I can kind of know where to set the footbed up to give you the most amount of support and best fit. So first of all, I like to go through and take measurements at the ball joint here. So you can kind of feel where, not straight across where your pinky toe, or like the top of your end of your toe rather, but at the joint itself. So I'm going to get a girth measurement here and check that. Oh, my sitting measurement is right about 10.5 inches. I will take, I have no issue with measurements in centimeters either. They make it nice and easy and put them on the other side of this measuring tape, but I will very poorly scribble that out, and I'll go through and check the waist here. So kind of in between my instep, I'm going to take it right about where the top of my foot goes up into my ankle, but the waist measurement should happen sort of in between there. And I'm looking at, I don't really want to, as I'm holding the tape, I don't want to compress my foot and pull super tight, but I also don't want it really loose like that. So just sort of snug up against my sock there, 10 1/4 inches. And I didn't say anything about it the first time, but it's very useful for the measurer to mark where they're taking each measurement with little tick marks like that. Notice I'm doing that here, so I can really be a bit more precise with setting up your last. My instep measurement is going to be something like 10 5/8 inches, so I'll make little tick marks. And then I want a heel measurement, so I'm going to set it down sort of at the base of my heel where it's contacting the floor and bring it up over this way. I'm looking at something like 13 5/8, maybe more like 13 11/16. We can be precise. 13 11/16 is my ankle measurement. I also like to have, my heel measurement. For the ankle measurement, we want to go at its widest point right here at the base of your ankle, right on the bones rather. So I'm about 10 1/4, maybe 10 5/16. And I also like to have, especially if you're getting engineer boots made, a measurement about 10 inches up from the floor. So I'll check that. Here is where my calf measurement should take place, and I'm looking at, oh, you know, right about 13 1/8. Okay, now it is very useful to see how one's foot expands under weight to then take these same measurements. I guess I don't need everything, but definitely the first three, the ball joint, the width, and the instep measurement. I want to see how those change under weight, because that's kind of how I'll set my last allowances. So under weight, I'm going to check those same measurements, and I got a little bit wider, you know, probably 10 11/16, maybe 10 3/4. So I'll go through and actually mark that out next to the other ones. My method is generally, this is horrible handwriting here, trying to write from sitting down, but I put parentheses around the standing measurement. Now standing. Oh, it's a little bit smaller. 10 1/8 underweight. And now the instep. I'm looking probably about the same, 10 5/8. So I will just make a mark that says it's the same. That's going to give me pretty much what I need to know to set up a last for you, and to make sure the pattern is going to fit your foot just the way it needs to. I don't think there's really anything else, but check that out. We can mark those now. I'll join you here on the floor. Is the ball, waist, instep, heel, ankle, and calf.